Partners polls director Scarlett McGuire and Fox News contributor Steve Hilton. Welcome to you all. Heck, to you first. I want to play a soundbite kind of picking up from where Bill's piece left off there of Thaddeus Cleveland. He is a Texas sheriff who said this.
Your viewers need to know that the U.S.-Mexico border is no longer the U.S.-Mexico border. It's the U.S. world border. People from all over the world are exploiting the border here to make entry into the United States illegally.
He's right, Mahek, and because of social media, the whole world also knows the border is wide open.
You're right, Trace. I mean, the truth is Biden really doesn't want to prevent illegal immigration. He supports these sanctuary cities. He supports a system where illegal immigrants can escape conviction for the same crimes that American citizens are being punished for today. And there's no amount of death in Biden's America that's going to change these border policies. Look at what happened to Laken Riley. Look at what happened to those 2 police officers that were beaten in New York City. Biden's policy is quite literally an allegory for the death of America. That's what we're truly facing today.
Steve, you know California politics. California Assemblyman Bill Essayli said the following here, quoting, "The fact that California law protects criminals from being handed over to immigration officials is outrageous. Not only does it endanger the public by allowing illegal alien criminals to be released into the communities, it also endangers the federal agents who have to go and find these criminals. I mean, it's a crime against society, and they propagate it year after year, Steve."
It is an absolute scandal, a massive scandal. Thank goodness that we have Bill Melugin to report on this, as he has been doing on the scandal at the border for the last few years. And Democrats try and turn this into an argument about immigration, as if by ending sanctuary status, somehow that means you're anti-immigrant and all the rest of it. What an absolute lie, a disgraceful lie. This is about crime. Look, we've got enough crime here in America to start with. We don't need to import criminals and then re-import them and re-import them as we let people come back in and commit crimes constantly because we're not enforcing the law.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Congressman Tony Gonzalez was talking, Scarlett, about the back and forth Texas law. The Supreme Court gives them the right to go in and enforce the law, the immigration law, and then it's now back on hold. And Congressman Gonzalez said the following.
If the Biden administration spent as much time trying to fix the border as they are trying to block things from happening, Americans will be a whole lot safer for that. I'm tired of the back and forth.
Everybody's tired of the back and forth. They could just close the border. It would benefit so many people who live in that area and across the country, Scarlett.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people in Texas are incredibly concerned about that border, 2/3 overall, including just over half of Democrats too. People in Texas back the governor in his action, but also people nationally. 7 in 10 Americans think that Texas should take action against the state.
Yeah, hey, Rosa, I want to do a little politics now because there's some polls we just got. The Marist poll in Georgia, Mahek Cook, head-to-head, we've got Trump 51% and Biden 47%. Boy, that's a change. The whole landscape is kind of changing. It's early still, but those are shifting numbers for President Biden.
Well, it's truly exciting to see for President Trump because I've said this all along. Biden is hemorrhaging voters, and partly it's because Biden is so out of touch. He is more worried about electric vehicles and green energy rather than his soft on crime policies, immigration, Bidenomics. He's even losing the black voter base and some of the other voters like Hispanics that were his core. The voters that used to vote for him are now turning their back because they've been taken for granted by Joe Biden. He is so out of touch with average, everyday working Americans today, Trace.
Yeah, it's interesting because, Steve, you look at this, and I thought this was the most fascinating. The overall was, as we said, 51-47. Now let's look at 18 to 29-year-olds, and look at this. Trump 51, Biden 46. Again, we talk about the Hispanic people moving toward President Trump. And now you see young people in Georgia starting to move toward the former president. What do you make of it?
Well, it shows exactly what we were just hearing. It's that you have a Democratic Party now, which is totally controlled by this intellectual elite with their far-left progressive views. They're just wildly removed from the day-to-day concerns of regular Americans. And you have Joe Biden still prattling on about how he's, you know, a blue-collar guy in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and when he can get the words out, rambling on about what his dad used to tell him. But meanwhile, the people who actually run the party, that he has absolutely no capacity to stand up to, they are pushing the Democratic Party so far away from their base and their constituency that they used to rely on. It is a massive demographic shift, a massive realignment in American politics.
Yeah. Lastly, the Marist poll on the impact of the State of the Union put these numbers up. Were you more confident? 31%. Less confident? 32%. 37% say no difference at all. They thought it was going to give the president a bump. Doesn't look like it. Your final thoughts on this, Scarlett?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about the State of the Union speech before. It has not given Biden a bump. There was a lot of anticipation saying maybe this could move the dial, maybe the fact that he was more lively, sort of more on the ball, would maybe change things. And actually, no. And we're seeing then in states like Georgia, this is going to really matter that he's not being able to pull ahead after these big set piece moments.
Yeah. Scarlett McGuire, Mahek Cook, Steve Hilton, thank you all.